Truckers of Reddit, what are some less common road courtesies that we can offer to you to make your job safer and easier? I say this as a former trucker and as a regular driver. I appreciate the gesture, but please don't be polite. Be predictable. Follow all the rules of the road as written and there won't be as much confusion. Don't be polite. Be predictable. Looking at you entire Midwest. You got to the stop sign first. Freaking go first. That's the rule. Don't park in no parking zones. They may look like an empty spot marked off for no reason, but they are often there to give the trucker room to back in his very long trailer in what is probably already a tight space. If you park there, they can't get in. Similarly, stop at the stoplight where indicated. Sometimes the line is far back from the intersection to allow trucks to make the turn. We always flash our headlights to signal that it's safe for a truck to merge in front of us. They often reciprocate with a return flash of 4 ways as a thank you. I live for the thank you hazards. From back when I was driving, pass quickly and only on the left. If you camp out on my side, you're sitting next to tires that have a pressure of 100 pounds per square inch. Never had a tractor tire blow, but when the trailer tires went it shakes the truck like a grenade went off. Don't sit there waiting for the grenade to go off. Great, and now I have something else to be scared of. I drive for Amazon and I once had to take a right turn into a gravel lot to drop off a trailer. When turning you have to slow down a lot and make it a wide turn so your trailer doesn't hit the curb or ditch on the side. Well, this turn had a ditch and the fellow driving behind me was tailgating and was also impatient. He misread my wide right turn as me turning left, for some reason, and then proceeded to speed up around me, which would have him heading directly towards my cab. So when he realized he effed up, he swerved into the ditch and his car bounced back out of it, totaling his car. All while this was happening I was just hoping he didn't hit me. I pulled into the lot all the way so I wasn't blocking the road and then got out and asked him if he was okay, and all he did was yell at me and curse and then called the police. When the police got there and heard both sides and realized that he did it to himself because of his reckless driving and that we didn't actually make any contact, they let me go about my day. The wife of the dude actually called me later and apologized for her husband, which I thought was hilarious. So yeah, don't tailgate a semi people. Love this story. At least the guy didn't hit you. I couldn't imagine any greater test of your anger management ability than to have some idiot hit you and then proceed to scream at you like it's your fault. His wife calling you takes the cake though. That's awesome. Thanks for the gold, Ricky. My dad was a trucker and I rode with him for years and years. Please do the air horn thing with your arm. It makes their day. My dad was a trucker for a while and would always complain about people who would pass just to get around him, then slow down to a speed slower than he was going in the first place. I'm not a trucker and this is a daily problem for me. I'm always on cruise control and end up playing leapfrog with people. I own a trucking company. Here's some things we would love the public to practice. Keep in mind, this is for the large sleeper bunk with 53 feet trailer. The guys who live on the road. 1. Never get in front of a truck when you're approaching an amber light or a red light. That truck may weigh up to 80k and you've just reduced his stopping distance. You can outrun him when the light turns green and get in front of him after. 2. Tankers are dangerous, especially if they don't have baffles. Don't make any erratic moves around them because if they have to suddenly stop, Newton's first law will frick you up. 3. If you're changing lanes in front of a driver, signal and slowly merge. Most drivers are trained to look several vehicles ahead and they have a better view. Just give them space. They could already be adjusting for a situation that's out of your field of vision. In summary, give them space and time to assess the situation. If a truck hits you, you'll probably die and the driver will be fine. Safety in large commercial vehicles primarily has the public in mind and drivers are trained to be defensive. Trucks and loads are insured, therefore replaceable. At the end of the day, there is a human being in that truck and they are prone to the same emotional behavior that non-commercial drivers have. Most drivers are very mature, however, have tons of patience, and have seen a lot of crap on the road. Tankers are dangerous, especially if they don't have baffles. Don't make any erratic moves around them because if they have to suddenly stop, Newton's first law will frick you up. Wait, I thought they all had baffles by now. My dad told me about his experience driving a non-battle truck when he first started driving 30 years ago. I would figure by now it's mandatory. Please do not merge onto the highway at 40 miles per hour. You are putting yourself, me, and everyone around us in danger when you do this. If I move over to the left to let you merge, either speed up or slow down so I can return to the right lane. Depending on where we are, I can get a ticket for hanging out in the left lane for too long. Can't tell you how many times I've sat with my turn signal on while the driver I just let merge just hangs out beside my trailer. When you're going to pass me and there is 300 feet of space ahead of me, there is no reason you should be merging in front of me 20 feet from my bumper. If you use your turn signal, I will let you merge. I don't mind that you're going 5 miles per hour below the speed limit if that's what you're comfortable with, but don't speed up when you see me trying to pass you. If you're going to pass me, I'm not going to speed up, because not only am I governed at 65 miles per hour, I actually want you to be as far away from me as possible, one less hazard I have to keep an eye on. If you're going to drive 5 miles per hour below the speed limit, please stay in the right lane. People who casually drive next to big rigs at highway speeds blow my mind. I don't want to spend any more time than necessary in a lane right next to a vehicle 20 the size of my car. Don't drive behind us with your high beams on. We might not have rear view mirrors, but we do have giant side mirrors that shine your headlights directly into our goddamn faces. Learn how to merge onto the interstate. Look left early to determine traffic speed and openings. Don't wait until you are at the end of the on-ramp. Don't try to merge into 70 miles per hour traffic at 45 miles per hour. Match the traffic speed. Merging traffic doesn't have right of way, so pay attention. And signal. I have my signal on before the go so people can see that I want in and can make room. It really annoys me when cars on the ramp all tailgate and then expect to merge in as a group going 10 under. Don't text and drive. My dad is a trucker and was hit head on by someone who was texting and driving. His semi dragged her car. He was so scared she had died, but she was okay. This was only 2 weeks ago. I see PPL watching videos while driving. Didn't know driving was so boring you have to be on your phone. I watched a dude plow into a trailer's bumper and get stuck for about 5 seconds a few weeks ago. Managed to pull off and pull over and I assume keep going cause I called the state patrol and they never got back to me. Freaking idiots. Not trucker, but was taught to drive by one. Biggest rule I'll always remember was more for my safety, but dad said, always assume we can't see you. My dad's a trucker as well and taught me the same rule. Better to be safe than sorry. I'm not a trucker but a big suggestion here. Pass the truck when you see their full cab in your rear view mirror. It's a full truck length and they appreciate it. I get the thank you flash every time I do it. It saves lives. Even my old driver's ed book had this bit. Don't merge back until you can see the whole front of the truck in your rear view mirror. TLDR at end. My father is a trucker so here it is. Don't cut them off. Don't pull and then slow down. They're carrying 2 trailers of liquid dynamite that can explode insanely easily and it takes them roughly 8 seconds to cone to a stop from 100 km/h, 60 miles per hour. If a trucker is slowing down for no reason he probably sees dangerous situations ahead. Maybe don't run in front of them and yes they can see problems that you can't if you're ahead of them. Give them space to turn on a right hand turn. If possible let them always take the outside turn. It will avoid accidents. Give them space. Both ahead and behind. If you can't see them through their mirrors they can't see you. Please use turn signals even if you're pulling in a million miles ahead of them. And let it blink at least twice before turning in. And then after that don't slam on the brakes. TLDR. No that's we're carrying 2 trailers full of liquid dynamite that can explode way easier when empty. Assume every truck is loaded and give them a gap. They need 8 seconds to stop the semi from 100 km/h or 60 miles per hour. Give us the outside lane for turns. Right turns at wife also. Don't be a jackass either please. Staying with my great aunt and her husband for a few months. Both truckers for 20 plus years. I asked the both of them if they wanted to contribute to this thread. Their answer, heck yeah. 1. When a truck attempts to make a legal pass, Please do not race us to beat the semi. We promise you, we will move back over into the other lane after we pass you. We can't slow down and need to avoid slower drivers. 2. If you are letting a semi driver get over, flash your lights twice. They will come in and will appreciate that hella. Been thanked. I will buy a trucker for this one at a rest stop. 3. When passing a semi, please maintain the legal speed limit. Do not put your brake on. If I'm pulling 40,000 pounds, do you know how long that will take me to slow down? 4. If we don't move over for you to get on, it's because we are unable to. I have been given the bird so many times and it ruins my day. When I'm carrying a tanker of flammable material boxed in by other cars, I cannot move. 5. If you need to report a driver for unsafe behavior, you can write down the tanker number found on the back, sides, and front, and their name should be on their driver's side door. Report any unsafe drivers to Department of Transportation. And lastly, 6. If you don't know how to merge onto the highway, stay the frick at home. I live in a small village that has a few different key industries that involve big trucks regularly moving through the area. We have 0 traffic lights but so many 4-way stops. We all know the rules of whose turn it is at the 4-way stop. It is pretty easy to tell when a big truck is making a turn into your direction before your chance at the 4-way stop. If this is the case, keep your vehicle several car lengths away from the stop sign so the truck can take a big swing on the turn. It helps improve the flow of that 4-way stop and it earns you a wave from the trucker, which I find to be one of the highest regards I can receive. The trucker wave should totally become a Reddit award. If you can't see our side mirrors, we cannot see you either. Never, ever pass on the right. We cannot stop on a dime. Do not cut a truck off before a stoplight. For the UK, this happens an awful lot. If we indicate to move over into another lane because of a junction or just any other reason, please slow down or move into another lane if you're close to the truck. Otherwise it just holds up the people we try to let out of the junction, or the people we try to allow change lanes. Similar again, if on a narrow road and we can't get through with a car or another vehicle beside us and we aren't moving, flash your headlights to let us know you're not also moving through. We don't want to damage anything around us as well as you don't want to be damaged, I'm sure. Don't stop dead on the motorways when merging. It's bad for everyone around you and holds up traffic for a long time while you speed up. In the UK we are limited to 90 kph, aka 56 miles per hour. This comes up on your speedometer as 63 miles per hour. Car and van speedometers without tachographs are legally required to be a fraction inaccurate. It ranges from 3 miles per hour inaccurate to 7 miles per hour inaccurate. If traffic begins to slow down massively, egg stopping because of an accident, you can put your 4-ways on to warn the traffic it's slowing down. Also, when we let cars, vans, other trucks into a lane in front of us, 4-ways can be used as a thanks. Please do not stop dead as it's likely we won't stop at all without warning. I'm related to 2 former truck drivers and when I ask, the answer is always give us enough room. I make a point of giving semis a wide berth and either moving over or slowing down so they can merge onto the highway. My dad is an Australian trucker and I have been riding with him for years. The things I have learned that are important that are more common than you think. 1. Don't speed up when we try to overtake. Happy for you to drive, you speed, but no need to change it just because we are trying to overtake. 2. Don't overtake a truck then slow down. What's the point? Just roll on at the speed limit. 3. In Australia, have a look at the don't overtake turning vehicle signs. They are there to let you know it's a bad idea. It is legal for larger trucks to take up both lanes when turning. They are doing it for your safety. Let them turn before moving past. 4. If you can't see the mirrors, the trucker can't see you. If they can't see you, they can't keep you safe. 5. You will not win versus a truck. If an accident happens, your car will always come off worse. So don't brake check, cut off, dart out in front of, or otherwise put yourself in danger versus a truck. Not a trucker, but while driving through Nebraska one night I gave a trucker some room to get over, but he didn't think he had enough, so I flicked my headlights, turned them off and back on quickly to let him know he had space. He moved over and then made all the lights on his rig and trailer do this crazy dance. That made me feel pretty cool. Hey truckers, I know it's off topic, but thanks for what you do. We often don't think or thank the people that get our crap to us in a timely manner, so thanks all. Seriously though, it's nice to see someone say thanks. I think people forget that literally everything anyone ever bought was on a truck of some kind at some point before it reached home. Thanks for the appreciation. I spend a great deal of time on the road but not a trucker. What I see often and it freaks me out is slow merging vehicles that are locked in with a truck in the slow lane. Often the escape lane has cars in it and the trucker is jammed. I clear out of the escape lane as I see the situation developing, but most folks don't. Stop cutting in front of us so close after you pass us on the highway. Forcing me to tailgate you blows and is insanely dangerous. Get away from me. I'm perfectly fine being friends with you. The truck is not. It will crush your car like a soda can if you frick around with it. I will actively try to prevent that from happening, but you are better equipped to avoid it. How? By getting the frick away from me. I'm not a truck driver, but it amazes me the stupid crap people will pull around a semi. Of all the lecturing and bitching of my dad, stepdad, grandpa, brother, and great aunt who are the truckers, it kinda just boils down to get the frick away quickly and stay away, because there's absolutely no good reason to be close to a truck on the road if you can avoid it. Pass and move far ahead, let them pass and fall far behind. IDC. Short of getting into scenarios straight out of Twister, you can avoid accidents with trucks by staying far away from them. Stop where the lines are at stoplights or four ways. Those are usually put back enough where we can make the turn just right. And please look sideways as well when you're driving. At least 10 times a day I put my blinker on to move over and people have blinders on and never see it. Be aware. For the love of all things kind and generous, please wait until you've got at minimum 4-5 car lengths of space before returning to my lane after passing. Cutting back into the lane immediately is dangerous and completely unnecessary. If there is no traffic behind you, 50 car lengths is better. Just give us some space please. Same for vehicles towing a boat or other trailer. Provide those drivers the same courtesy that you'd give a trucker. They're often not very experienced with towing and space is free to give. For example, a well-kept BMW 3 Series with good tires and brakes takes about 200 feet to stop from 75 miles per hour after recognition and decision. That is about 16 car lengths. Even if purely for self-preservation, that ought to be the minimum space you'll allow between yourself and other vehicles. Yes, I know that in heavy traffic that is often impossible to maintain, but I've been on the interstate with just one other car visible and they'll stay in my lane until I think they'll hit my rear bumper and cut back in within 15 feet of my front bumper. Seriously, you've got the whole freeway. These drivers could wait minutes before switching back to the right lane and disrupt no one. Trust that if you feel safer speeding by staying in the right lane as much as possible. Today's laser speed devices employed by the police can snag your speed at great distances no matter what lane and what vehicle is nearby. If you're going to speed, man up and take your chances because you're still vulnerable anyways. Pick A. Speed. Then set your cruise control and leave it there. If you feel safer being below the speed limit, fine. Want to speed? You do you. Just don't speed up and slow down for no reason. They only slow down to read and reply to text messages, then they speed up. This applies to the EU and UK where trucks are limited to 90 km per hour, 56 mph. Don't sit in the inside lane doing 53 miles per hour, then when a truck pulls out to overtake you suddenly speed up to 60 miles per hour only to drop back to 53 miles per hour when the truck driver has had to give up on his attempt to overtake and pull in behind you. Either keep going at 53 miles per hour or keep going at 60 miles per hour. Don't fluctuate between the two. Also, remember that your car's speedometer is not as accurate as our calibrated tachograph and speedometer. You may think you're going along at 90 km per hour, but in reality you're not. You're going a little slower. In general, if you're in a car on the motorway, do at least 56 and match speed with the trucks. Otherwise you're just in everyone's way. Dunno if I didn't scroll down far enough, but I live in truck in Chicagoland. I'm not a tanker, I don't have a sleeper berth, and I'm not long haul. I primarily drive at night. so there's less traffic in general. But holy frick, am I tired of seeing people passing me on a narrow shoulder on my right when there's miles of empty fricking road to my left. The shoulder is not a fricking passing zone. At some point in my life, I'm either going to die of a fricking heart attack or have to call the police because someone decided to do this when I don't have space on my left, and they wind up with their driver's seat under my power wheel. Turn your fricking headlights on when raining. It's really hard to see grey black cars in a rain covered mirror unless they have their lights on. Also turn them on 1/2 hour prior to sunset. Don't try to merge onto the interstate at 40 miles per hour. Regardless of whether a truck is coming, you people are dangerous. Try to get close to the speed of traffic you're merging into. I haven't been on Reddit very long, but I just wanted to say this was one of the nicest questions I've seen on here. Kudos to OP. My father was a trucker for quite some time, and he always said the greatest courtesy you can offer a trucker on the road is to give them space to merge ahead of you on freeways. Truckers have to obey several rules on the road, and one is that they need enough space to stop ahead of them, and another is that they must stay in the 3 lanes of traffic closest to the right-hand merging and off-ramp lane. So when a trucker gets on the freeway, if you are coming up to an off-ramp and you slow down and create space for them to merge onto the freeway, they are very thankful for that. So when a trucker gets on the freeway, if you are coming up to an off-ramp and you slow down and create space for them to merge onto the freeway, they are very thankful for that. This should be done for everyone out of common courtesy. When I'm coming up on an on-ramp, I move over a lane, when possible, to clear space for anyone that's merging. A little off topic, but when I was a kid, my dad showed me how truckers communicate with light flashes and tail light running light flashes. He had the utmost respect for anyone operating a rig and thought that truckers were akin to pilots. He was a pilot. Truckers were cautious and deserved the respect of other drivers. That was the late 70s, early 80s. These days I watch trucks barrel along in the left lane, pass each other indiscriminately and basically act like they're just big cars. I don't remember the last time I saw a running light flash of thanks after passing another rig. Am I just old, or has trucker etiquette gone out the window? That truck that is doing 50 miles per hour uphill is going to gain 20 to 30 miles per hour going downhill. If you pass that truck uphill, don't immediately get in front of him. Trucks are heavy and will pick up a lot of speed very quickly going downhill. So you passed him on the way up, but now his brakes are about to catch fire because you slipped in front of him right at the top of the hill. Also, don't pass on the right. Please use the on-ramp acceleration lane to get up to highway speed before merging. Please don't crowd us or stay right beside us. It's ice nerve-wracking and impedes traffic. We know we are slow-wed and like it either. Do the arm pump thing more. Sorry, sounds bad, but I can see you on an on-ramp. I will stay in my lane or blare my horn. When you are going to go from a 30 mile per hour side street to a 75 mile per hour freeway, you need to look everywhere as soon as you begin on the ramp. I can see when you are not looking, and I can see when you are texting. Sometimes we have traffic to our left and it is so much easier for y'all to slow down or speed up than us. As a ship driver, it's funny how many of these responses are almost exactly the same as maritime navigation. Be predictable. Follow the rules. Don't intentionally cause me to maneuver. Don't pass on the right. Don't follow too closely, makes us nervous if we can't see you. Like, keep 2 truck lengths back. Watch when you merge. I'm piloting a very heavy thing. You're in a light thing. You won't win and I can't stop. Imagine a steel burrity. If I hop over to the left lane for a second, I'm probably giving someone space that's broken down or pulled over. Don't hop in the right lane, just give me a second, I will get over. If you're pulling over, look before you open your door and hop out. I don't want help beta test your new life insurance policy. Use your cruise control. Small cars tend to yo-yo between 20 miles over and 10 under. Just pick a speed for the love of God. Also, driving beside my wheels is dangerous. For more information, look at the Tyrethrothenomy thread. It would be a shame to behead you unintentionally. Speeding up and then jumping in front of a truck just to slam on the brakes so you can make a right turn is probably one of the more common WTF moments that is more dangerous than you all seem to understand. A 3,000 pound car doesn't hold up very well when pitted against an 80,000 pound truck that has more metal in its front bumper than the section of your car above the wheels. Please stop doing this. If a trucker has a lot of space in front of him, it's likely for safety reasons. It takes a long stretch of road to stop suddenly, so space is crucial. So don't think it's a free lane that you can jump into. It causes us to have to slow down to create space. Some truckers get tired of it and start to tailgate. Those guys suck. Sorry about them, but now you know why. Here are also some courtesies truckers can offer. Don't overtake another truck if you only go 1 mile per hour faster or uphill on a 2-lane road. Don't just blink and start merge without waiting for an opening. That's it, otherwise you're good. I'll add another one. Don't go into the far passing lane when there are signs everywhere telling you not to go into the far passing lane. I drive fuel tankers that are 107,000 pounds when fully loaded. It takes a long time for me to stop. I have to plan my drive line several hundred feet ahead of me at all times. Please, don't make sudden brakes or pull out in front of me. It's going to end badly for all involved. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.